Okay, it's really important that you calibrate your headset in relation to where it is in relation to your head and the camera and the screen. So what you do, set it running. So the head tracker, don't worry if it's not centered at the moment, that actually doesn't really matter too much. And what you do, you click on one of these buttons. Now let's see if I can get it right first time. Yeah, it's the top one. So you click on input, click on the hammer there. You get that screen come up. Alright, you might want to see if you agree with those figures there for what you've got. Now go to model, and with the head tracking running as it is, that's, by the way, those are the figures here which are relevant to the clip that you've got, the track clip. Those figures there, model position, this is what we're changing. Now rather than inputting these directly, you do start calibration. Okay, what you do, you move your head left and right, so you just yaw and do that sort of half a dozen times, and then with your head in the center, go up and down, up and down, up and down. And when you've done it, press stop calibration. It'll tell you if you've got enough samples. So it says 39 samples, over 30 good, which is what it needs. And you can see it's adjusted those X, Y, and Z values. Okay, so now when you actually look at this here, this is what you should see. Those three dots, which is that one, and that one. The top two should be closer, as you would expect. It should look like this actually. There you go. So it should look exactly like that. It should be a vertical line lining them all up. Okay, and then the center of your head is that cross there. So that's the center of rotation. You don't expect to see that cross over the top of them, because unless you've got the things stuck to your nose. It's on the side of your head. The center of your head is there. As you turn, you'll see that. But when you're facing straight forward, you will see that cross there, and those three dots should line up in a vertical line. Okay, perfect. Another thing to do, go into options, shortcuts, center. This is important. Okay, you can use a space key. I've got the space key actually mapped to a button on my joystick, but you can use a joystick key. So click on bind, and then just press a button on the joystick, and it will bind it to that. So basically, when you're flying, if it starts to drift, if the head's tracking starts to drift out of center, you press that button or that key, and it actually, you can see it's actually sent, and you see it's centered it. Okay, and that's pretty much it. I mean, mapping curves, where you can play around those to your heart's content. But you probably don't want your head to move. Your pitch, no matter that, even if you've got a really wide screen, you don't want the yaw to go much more than about 25%. Because what happens if you go much further than that, particularly when you go to the left, your head starts to actually block the view from the camera. And one of those, you can see one of those is starting to disappear now. See one of those diodes? You can't see it because your head or your nose or your ear is in the way. So you don't want to be doing more than about 25 degrees. And basically your camera also should not be in line with your nose. It should, if you've got the clip on your left side of your head, the camera should be in line with that, straight ahead. Shouldn't be at an angle, shouldn't be in the center of the screen. So I've got the clip on my left, so I've got the camera left of center, directly lining up with it. And like I say, you play with those curves, although don't use roll. X, yeah, I do use a bit of excellent. I do use Y. Yeah, I'll talk about that another time. And then Z, moving forward and back. Yeah, important. Other options which are handy: relative translation, having all these things. Neck displacement, you can have that if you want. So as you turn to the left, it automatically displaces you laterally, which helps look to the side of your plate. I don't like using that. Some people do, but you just got to play with it and see what suits you best. Any questions, give us a shout.